So it has been a while. I feel like it's been a while. To me, it feels like it's been a few weeks since I last filmed. To you guys, it may feel like that. It may not. Whatever. But I'm here. I'm here today and I'm super excited to be filming as per usual, but even more so today because this video idea and what I'm going to be filming today is something different that I haven't done before, and it's kind of good to switch things up a little bit. And you know, even though I'm still talking books, we're still doing booktube, it's a different version. We're not going to be doing recommendations. Now, before we get into the video, I'm feeling good, babes. For a minute there, I wasn't feeling good, and I'm going to get into that in a second. I asked you guys on Instagram, what are some of the most overhyped books that you have read? And I had tons of answers. And today I'm going to be going through those answers and giving you guys my reaction and my opinion on it. Do I agree with what you say is overhyped, or do I think the hype is worth it? Yeah, so some of these books I have read. Some of these books are my favorite books I've ever read. Yeah, we're just going to be discussing it here on camera today. So as I said, I want to have a little bit of a discussion before moving into the video. So I will put, when I'm editing this video, a timestamp at the bottom of the screen so you can move past this part of the video if you just want to see the overhyped books I'm going to be talking about. But I do suggest you watch this because this is going to be very detrimental to my channel and the direction that it's going in. So yeah. So I jumped on Instagram the other day and said to you guys that I have been feeling a lot of pressure when it comes to filming recommendations, and it's kind of taken away the enjoyment of reading. Don't get me wrong. I still want my channel to be book related. I still want to recommend books that I come across that I thoroughly enjoy and think that you guys are going to love as well. But I have a lot of pressure on me, which means that reading has become a chore. I'm not enjoying it. I'm not reading for my own pleasure. I'm reading because you guys want more recommendations. And I have noticed when I've been reading as of recently, I'll look at the page numbers and be like, oh my God, can I actually read this in time to film about it? You know what I mean? Can I read this quick enough to recommend it? And I'm not getting into the books. I'm not getting into the storylines. I'm not enjoying them. I'm not reading them for my own pleasure. As I said, I'm reading them for you. And it's kind of really put a damper on reading for me. And it's really put a damper on my mood in my recent videos. And I really just want to take a step back from recommendations and also scale back on the amount of uploads that I upload. Now, usually you'll get 4 a month. 4 videos no matter what. And if I'm feeling like it, I'll add more videos in. But I definitely want to start scaling back on that and keeping to my 4 uploads a week, maybe even once a fortnight, depending on what I'm doing. Because I want my videos to be good quality. I want to come up with fresh new ideas. I want to, you know, not just film recommendations. I still want it to be book related, but I just want more effort, better quality videos. I want my videos to be longer. I don't want 12-minute videos anymore. I want 40-minute videos where we go in depth about the books that I'm talking about. And yeah, so I'm just going to let you guys know that I won't be uploading as much. I'm going to try and scale everything back a little bit and fall in love with reading again because I feel like I'm in a slump, babe, and it's a big one. And it's hurting me. I feel hurt by it because my usual escape from reality is not helping me. And I've been struggling a little bit internally, which I haven't really said out loud, and I don't like saying it out loud because that means I have to admit it to myself. But I'm struggling a little bit. I'm feeling a little bit disconnected from myself and from my life, and my life on camera, and I don't enjoy that. Like, I'm on camera because I love what I do. I love this. I love communicating with you guys. I love filming myself. Call me narcissistic, but I enjoy it. And at the moment, I'm not. And I really want to make sure that I'm putting out content that you guys love, that is authentic to me and what I believe in and who I am and what I'm all about. So yeah, there's going to be a little bit of a scale back on my uploads, but that doesn't mean that the uploads I do upload, like the videos I do upload, won't be good. They'll be better. I've said it before, I'll say it again, I'm writing. I have been writing for a year and a half, and there is plenty of stories that I have begun. I've got 2 series that I have started writing, and I'm currently writing a standalone that is completely different to anything I've ever mentioned online. So this standalone is going to be my first release. I really want to finish it by the end of this year, and I'm in a good routine, and I've noticed that writing has also contributed to the capacity of books that I'm reading as well. So I'll read a book, but then I'll be thinking about my own story and I need to focus on that. And that is a dream of mine. I do want to release a book, and you know, it's nerve-wracking, it's scary, and I'm very hard on myself because, you know, I was never known to be super smart when I was younger. I struggled heavily in school, but that's also empowering me and encouraging me to keep going with this dream, because I want to write something that you know, those that may struggle intellectually can read and enjoy. My writing style is going to be something that a lot of people won't enjoy, and there will be people that do enjoy it, but it's mine and it's how I want to write my book. And I definitely, my books I should say, I'm definitely putting a lot of heart and soul into that. And even with becoming an author, I hope I can become an author and do it full time, because I have so many things going on, guys. I'm never going to lose the recommendations, but going forward, when I do start releasing books, there's going to be a lot of content on my channel regarding that. I have documented and have begun documenting my writing journey. Me writing the book right now, I have filmed everything. So when I do finish it and when I do release it, there'll be like a semi-documentary that I have filmed myself writing and becoming an author. So anyway, I'm just saying that, like, I'm going to scale back for a little bit, okay? I'm going to take a step back. I'm still going to be on social media. I'm still going to be uploading. Just won't be as regular. And I really want to focus on perfecting my writing, falling back in love with reading and getting out of my slump, and giving you guys good content. I don't want to be repetitive. I don't want to talk about the same books that I always recommend. You know, that's annoying. I get it. But it's also hard because the more that I grow, the more subscribers I get. And instead of going through my channel and seeing what I've already posted, people ask for certain videos to be filmed that I've already done. You know, I did like my favorite series and my favorite standalones, which I've already talked about all those books before, but I filmed that because I had new subscribers asking for it. Anyway, with that said and done, baby, I don't think I filmed since I've turned 26. So on the 19th of June, it was my birthday. I've got a lot of new bling because I got spoiled rotten, like especially this one. This one's my favorite. My not my parents, my mother and father-in-law bought this for me, which is a diamond bracelet, not real diamonds. And it's the stars and the moons. And that's another thing that I think I want to do a video on in the future. Let me know in the comments below if you're interested in it. But I'm going through a bit of a spiritual journey right now. As you guys know, I'm quite spiritual. I keep it quite private, but you know, I do tarot readings and stuff for myself. I have definitely been diving into that more hectically as of recent. You know, crystals and stuff like that I love, and I've definitely pulled them back out of the archive and purchased some new ones because I need some guidance right now. I need to know that I'm on the right track, and because I'm feeling a bit disconnected from you guys, from YouTube, from myself, from my, you know, my main goal in life, I've just needed some guidance. So yeah, anyway, let's get into the fucking video, okay? I'm gonna be doing this a lot in the video because I've got red nails, which I never have red nails. They're just stick-ons. I asked you guys on Instagram, what are some of the overhyped books that you have read? And wow, I got such a big response. So this video might be quite long, but I'm super excited to give you guys my opinions, because some of these I totally fucking agree. I totally agree. So this is gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first book that you guys think is overhyped is Birthday Girl from Penelope Douglas. Now, I'm not going to fucking lie. Victoria sent this to me, my babe from Brazil. And I messaged her and I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. No fucking way. Birthday Girl is the ultimate age gap. It's the ultimate slow burn, forbidden, taboo age gap of all time. How can anyone think that this is overhyped? I don't know. In saying that though, I have not read this in a long time. So I think this could be a cool idea if I reread some of my favorites and vlogged it all on camera over the next couple of months and uploaded that. If you think that's a cool idea, let me know in the comments if you'd like me to do that. But I loved this so much. I was obsessed with it. I got everyone in my life to read this who reads romance. I have hyped up this book from Penn so many fucking times. Like, I actually cannot deal. Like, I think Pike and Jordan are epic, man. I loved their story. I read this book in one sitting, and that's hard for me to do, bitch. If you get me to read a book in one sitting, you're doing something fucking right. So I disagree. I disagree that this is overhyped. I think this set up a lot of the age gaps that are getting released now. Lies. It's not overhyped. Do not get me started. The After series. Okay, so if you've been watching me for a while, you know that After started this, okay? After, for me, was the gateway into the romance genre and into the community, and it's where I really started to flourish with my reading journey. And my channel as well. This is what got me to where I am now. So for someone to say that it was overhyped, no one could say this to my face. You're lucky that there's a screen between us, hun, because yes, I do think After is overhyped, but I think if you're a beginner and you're not already in the romance community and you're not already reading the genre, this will be mind-blowing to you. But personally, if I was to read this now, after everything I have read, I would think that it's overhyped. It's very nostalgic because of when it was released. I know that this came out on Wattpad way before I even read it. So I know a lot of people have like mad love and respect for this series. And you know, Anna wrote this in a time where the romance community didn't really have this. So that changed the game. And I feel like a lot of authors that write romance now, this was their template, you know what I mean? This was what they went off. So it definitely created the world, the romance genre that we're in now. I do believe that it deserves respect, and I believe that it needs to get credit where credit's due, but I do believe that it's overhyped now that I have read what I have read. And also, I don't think the movies did this series any justice, which is unfortunate. I've already filmed videos about the movies, and I have spoken honestly that I think the movies are not good enough compared to the series, and I think that's put a damper on the series, like the book series, the movie franchise. So yeah, I do have to sadly agree, but it doesn't mean I still don't love it. Whether I'll ever read it again, I don't know. Like, I still don't even own the paperbacks, which I almost bought the other day for my birthday, but I decided not to. I do need to own the paperbacks because it began everything for me, but I do have so much love for this series, but I agree. I agree, it is overhyped. This series, I have not read yet. And a subscriber of mine actually bought these books for me for my birthday. I think it's the Ravenhood series by Kate Stewart, and it's Flock and 2 other books. I, as I said, have not read this yet, but I'm planning on reading it. I actually began Flock a few months ago, but I was in a pretty bad place with reading, so I had to DNF it for now, and I haven't really returned. A lot of people have said that the start of this book, like the first book, is quite slow and it kind of builds the story, and then it gets really hectic in the second and third book. I have heard very mixed reviews about this. I've heard some people say it was trash. I've heard some people say that it's the most amazing series that they've ever read in their fucking life. So I can't contribute to the factor if it's overhyped or not. But I do think it's hyped the fuck up, even for someone who hasn't read it. It'll be interesting for me to see when I do read this if I agree with everyone else, which I will get around to eventually. But yeah, I can't disagree or agree with it being overhyped, but I do know that it is hyped up. So that's an interesting one that this made it onto this list from you guys. Next up, we have Hello Stranger by Jade West. No. It is hyped up for a good fucking reason. It's not overhyped at all. This will be going in my top favorite reads of 2021, bitch. What do you mean? This broke me. This was brilliant. I loved this. This was unique. This was heartwarming, gut-wrenching, everything and more. I can't believe you said that. Totally disagree. Ooh, this is gonna get some people shitty. Anything from LJ Shen. So I don't talk about LJ Shen much. I've only recommended a couple of her books. The Kiss Thief is one of them. And Vicious is another one that I've read from her. And I have to fucking agree, 110% bitch. Overhyped as fuck. Now I don't say this to be mean to LJ. I don't know her. I don't talk to her. I have no relationship with her. But personally, I struggle intensely trying to connect to her stories and her books. I tried reading Vicious like 3 times before I completed it. And even with The Kiss Thieves, the only reason why I read it was because it was a mafia book. And the only reason why I recommended it was because it was a mafia book. But I even said when I did recommend it that it wasn't something extraordinary, something that I hadn't read before. I have to agree. I have tried to get into LJ Shen. I DNF'd The Villain. What's another one that I tried to read but DNF'd? I can't remember, but I have tried. They're so hyped up to the point where it's like, you're taking the piss. It can't be that good. You know what I mean? I never want to crush another author for their style of writing or what they have written, ever. Especially now that I am, you know, an aspiring author. Like, I don't want to do that because that would hurt. But, like, I find it really hard to understand the, you know, thousands of good reviews and stuff. Like, I enjoyed her books, but they just weren't mind-blowing to me, and I hate saying that, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me. There's so many people that message me daily, and they're like, you need to read LJ Shen, this book, that book, The Villain, Vicious, blah, blah, and I can't get down. So unfortunately, I have to agree with this. LJ Shen in general, overhyped. Okay, so I haven't read this. I'm going to read it very, very soon. There'll be a reading vlog. I can't wait because this book is getting made into a movie. This is The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. I already know, and I have not read it yet, that this will be overhyped in my mind. I already know it. I've had so many people message me and be like, yeah, it was cute and shit, but like, totally overhyped. And I know me, and I know what gets me. I tend to love more of the darker books. You know, I'm a dark romance queen. That doesn't mean that I don't like fluffy Goodreads, but I just know that the type of booktubers that recommend The Hating Game, I watch them, and I watch what else they recommend, and I like the books that they recommend, but it's just not my style. So I already know that this will be overhyped in my mind, and I haven't even read it yet. But man, is this hyped up. I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that I end up falling in love with this book once I do read it, but I just find it really hard to think that I will because I just know the context of it already kind of, and it's a little bit too light and fluffy for me. Oh my god, there's so many. I literally will have to do a part 2. I kid you not, I'll have to do a part 2. Okay, so the next one that really caught my eye is the Addicted and Calloway's sister series. So I know I've seen this everywhere, man, and I actually filmed a video at the start of the year talking about books that I want to read this year. I haven't read like any of them, and the Addicted series was on that list. Here's the thing. I just feel like, I don't know. I do want to read it, but I just don't know when I'm going to get around to it. I just feel like there's some books in the industry after Off Campus, which we'll get to, by Elle Kennedy, the Addicted series, and there's something else that hold a status. They were released at the right time and to the right demographic for them to be as popular as they are. I believe that when I do get around to it, and when I do eventually read this or attempt to read it, that I will find that I will personally think that it is overhyped. And I think that's another reason why I haven't kind of gone into this series yet, because I feel like I'm not going to be shocked by it. And I could be wrong. I could be wrong about many of these books that I think that will be overhyped when I do get around to reading them. I believe that I haven't read this yet because of the hype around it, and I'm afraid of being disappointed. Because I just mentioned The Deal by Elle Kennedy, I'm going to talk about it now. So this is The Deal Off Campus series. Oh my god, man. Now, I have read 3 out of the 4 books. I haven't read The Goal yet. and everyone told me that the score was going to be my favorite, which it wasn't. The Deal, the first book in the series, is my favorite out of what I've read so far. And man, is this overhyped. I'm sorry. It's so overhyped. I get it though. A lot of people read this when they were around like 16, 17. And a lot of people, you know, read it after they read After. So I understand that. I believe that if I read this series, The Off Campus, after I had read After, I would love it just as much as everyone else. But because I only read it this year, and I had read everything else that I've recommended, it just doesn't even hold a candle to anything else. It's just not as good as what everyone says it is. I'm sorry, I'm saying it. You're gonna get hurt by me. I'm sorry, I'm gonna offend people. But I thought The Deal was really fluffy and it was really cute and I thought it was a little steamy and I did like The Deal. But yeah, it was not in my top favorites. Oh my god, this kind of hurts me a little bit, but I have to agree. I loved Ugly Love. I think it's a really good emotional book. I feel like It Ends With Us is quite overhyped as well, even though I loved that book. But I honestly feel like Colleen Hoover's best is Verity. I've said it. I believe personally, with my reading taste and what I've read from Colleen, I think the best that she's ever done is Verity. And I did love All Your Perfects. That's another one of my favorites. But yeah, I felt like Ugly Love was a little overhyped. I did enjoy it. I gave it a 4-star rating on Goodreads when I did read it. But everyone told me I was going to bawl my eyes out. Everyone told me that it was going to affect me in this way. And bitch, it fucking didn't. I felt the emotions of this book, but it just wasn't what I was expecting. I thought it was going to shatter me and break my heart. And it really didn't. But yes. I believe that this book is definitely overhyped, and so many people are going to disagree. I just know it, but I totally think it's overhyped. Bitch, I'm pissed off at this one. Sweet Temptation by Cora Riley. You got to be fucking kidding me? No, not overhyped. Brilliant. I love Sweet Temptation. I love Cora Riley. I love her Mafia world, and this was the first standalone and the first book that introduced me to her worlds, and her writing. I could never agree with this statement. I could never agree with this statement. How could you do this to me? Are you kidding me? No, totally not overhyped. I don't know if you guys want to punch on. Like, I don't know if you actually want to start a brawl with me. Off Balance? Who would even say that to me? Who would even say that Off Balance? Who would say that this masterpiece is overhyped to me? Out of all people, me. One, Lucia Franco is like my friend. We're friends. We talk all the time. So how dare you? Second of all, it's my favorite series of all time. Like, it tops After. Like, this is my #1. I could never agree with this. The only reason why I would think people could think that it was overhyped was because of like the gymnastics aspect. But I feel like that's what makes it so brilliant. It's like a sports romance, and I hate sports romances. And I got so fucking invested in this book series. Like, I took 5 days off from work, bitch. Like, I read this back to back. So for you to say that it's overhyped, I strongly disagree. I'm offended. And I don't really get offended. I'm not one of those fucking, you know, pick me bitches on TikTok that gets offended. This is another popular one, and this is the last one I'm going to talk about in this video. I'm going to do a part 2 because I've got tons. So if you like this video, let me know if you want to see a part 2. I'm really excited to do a part 2 because the other ones, you guys are going to die. Den of Vipers. Now, I get it. I get it why people think that this is overhyped, and I loved it, yeah, and I recommended it, and I got the word out about this book. Hate to be conceited or cocky or anything like that, but there was a couple of us, and I was one of those girls who got this name out into the world, into the romance community, and I loved it for what it was, which was straight up smut. It is the only reverse harem book that I have read that I have enjoyed, because I don't like reverse harem. And it had that whole mafia world kind of plot to it, which I personally love. So I loved it and hyped it up for what it was. It was a mafia reverse harem book of smut, babes. The plot was not decent. It wasn't an intricate plot where you just had to know what was going to happen next. It was just dirty, dark, smart, which I can appreciate, and so can a lot of people. And I think that's why this did get a lot of hype, and I believe that one of the characters in this book, Diesel, and the way he was, and some of the sex that was written in this book, like some of the sex scenes, is the reason why it's so overhyped. It is a good book, and even though I've recommended it so many times, I have to agree that it is overhyped. It's good if you're gonna look at it for what it is, you'll enjoy it, but it is overhyped. Don't go into this book thinking that you're gonna get mind blown. It's book porn, baby. That's all it is. All right, I'm gonna leave it here today. Otherwise, we're gonna be here for like 2 hours. I will do a part 2 because there's tons of books I still want to have this discussion about. So if you, why did I say that so weird? About, like that's how I said it. What the fuck? If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see a part 2. Let me know in the comments below if you agree with my statements and opinions. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. It means the world to me. All the links to my social media accounts are down below in the description box, as well as my merch. We've got new merch coming very, very soon. It may or may not have the word concerned written on it. We don't know. Okay, I'm not going to give anything away just yet. I hope you guys have a wonderful day wherever you are, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!